What's up, everyone? It's AlpoCrypto, back with TradrTv. So this is our second video. Really excited to do an update on VeChain. So this will just be a technical update. I will go over some fundamentals, although um, what's going on with VeChain right now isn't really a fundamental issue. There may be a little bit of a loss of public interest just due to the mainnet launching, but there's still some really good things in the pipeline, like the token split. So one VEN will go to 100 VET, which is really exciting. If you look back in history over through the stock market, I don't think it's happened much in crypto. But when a token split happens, the token gets cheaper. Well, it looks cheaper to the consumer. So when you first entered crypto, you got to ask yourself, you were always looking for the cheap coin. I remember when I first started, I was looking for the really low cap coins that they seemed cheap, so you had a lot of them, and you felt like you really had a big bag of something. So I think psychologically, VeChain will have a really good year next year, and heading into the end of this year, I'm still bullish on it. So let's go over some technicals right now, and I'll show you what I'm seeing on the charts. As you can see, I've got the 1 day chart here now. You can muck around on the 4 hour and smaller time frames, but I really don't think you're going to be getting the data that you need. So on VeChain Lite, as you can see here, so we had a really parabolic run. I think starting in sort of December when it got listed on Binance, it had a really, really parabolic run. Now, we're seeing some really similar things with other coins, which is what I've got up here. So we're going to go through Neo, we're going to go through OneChain, we're going to go through Ethereum, and I just want to show you guys the similarities and what I'm really seeing. I'm a really long-term believer in VeChain. This is not to say I'm not a believer in VeChain. I think I have to be probably one of the largest believers in VeChain. But this is what it is. I'm a TA trader, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm seeing on the charts. So basically, we had a parabolic run, starting December. Now, I got in at around 13,000 satoshis, which is around this area here. And as we can see, guys, like we didn't really find, we pretty much just went straight up. We didn't find any support levels. And we didn't create any sort of market structure. We really just went parabolic here. We had a small pullback. I think it might have been a 38.2 bounce. If we just go to yeah, guys, like we only touched the 38.2 on the fib retracement on our first big pullback. So it was only a really, really short time where you could have made money, entering on a pullback. And you've got to remember, a lot of these big players, a lot of these big institutions, they have traders that are advising them on these projects. Nothing goes up forever. So I don't think the smart money's in VEN yet, to be completely honest with you. I think a lot of smart traders will be waiting for these large pullbacks. Nearly every coin in crypto has had an 100% retracement if you really date back, especially in this market that we're having now, guys. So what happened here, we really came up parabolic. We pulled back to the 38.2. Which wasn't really a good pullback. We didn't really create any structure around here to actually go up more, which is why we had a really steep drop here. And this drop here was a 61.8 retracement. And these Fibonacci levels are really important due to, people don't just buy on these parabolic moves, they wait for pullbacks. So it's interesting to see, it came really close to pretty much the exact sat value of the 61.8. So there was a lot of smart money sitting on those sidelines. They didn't buy on the first push. No smart money bought on the first push here, guys. This was hype. This was news. This was announcements that were pushing this. People were scared to miss out on this, guys. So what's happened is it's had a big run up. It's pulled back now to the 61.8. Now it's created a lower high. So if you look up the top here, we topped out at around 81,000 satoshi. We've created a lower high here on the daily if we do a downtrend line at about 60K. We came down, we tried to find some support horizontally here, but we've just continued to make lower highs, guys. We've got a lower high, we've got a lower high, we've got a lower high. I was pretty bullish around this point, I'm not going to lie to you, this point here, because we didn't make a lower low. We made a sort of a double bottom, although I do think the market sort of really fell off around the middle of June. So, we can't blame it on the market, guys. This happens. This is a market cycle. I'm going to keep repeating that because it's really important to know that if you... Oh, someone's calling, sorry. If you do hold this long term, it's really smart to sort of take off your eyes off the chart and really just focus on building your bag. If you really believe in this company and you want to move forward in the future with, having a large investment portfolio stacked with VeChain, which I think is a really smart idea, guys. You've got to wait. You've just got to wait. You can't really sell out here. I'm a TA trader, so it's a good idea to sell out here. Although, if you don't know much about trading and you don't really know how to put a buy stop, or you don't know how to weigh up your risk to reward, guys, it's really risky selling now. I think in terms of like the Elliott waves, guys, I think we've got, we had a push here, one wave, two wave, we had the third wave here, we pulled back the fourth wave, and then we had a fifth wave. I think this is a correction, guys. I don't think this is going to last too long, although if we do close on the daily time frame below this sort of 32.5 level, which we already are now, so that closes at 10 a.m. Australian time tomorrow, which will be the Sunday, the 15th of July, maybe in America a little bit earlier. So if we close below that, guys, I do see us sort of dropping a little bit more. I can't tell you exactly where Ven's going to end up, guys. There's no real support structure to go off. A lot of traders would say, if it went up like this, sorry, I'll just make these white. If it went up like this, is it going to go down like that? And it's a pretty good case study to have, guys. So will this head back to the 9,000, 10,000 Satoshi mark where, institutional investors will find value? Potentially, guys. I think if I'm a long-term holder, I personally won't be selling my long-term node, although I will be buy averaging down in this sort of 20K level. So on the 78.6 fib level, I'll be looking for entry there with a tight stop just underneath, just in case it does do 100% retracement. As we've seen here, guys, Neo. This had a huge run up when I started crypto. It went from about 40 cents to, I think, first it was about $30, had a huge pullback. Then it went to about $300, guys. Sat value was about 140,000. Actually, 1.4 million Satoshi that got to. Which, you look yourself in the mirror and you say, okay, the same thing could happen to Ven, and definitely could. It had 100% retracement. From this push here, guys, if we just drew a fib, from this push here, yeah, we're back at the 100. We bounced literally off the 100% retracement. And we made a higher high here. So it's not like Ven won't be back. I just think a lot of the coins go through market cycle. This is a bearish cycle. That's a bullish cycle. I think, Neo's going through another bearish cycle now. It's not a bad buy zone. So don't look at it as like the project's dead or anything like that. This is just purely what happens when you learn technical analysis. No coin stays up forever. VeChain was really parabolic. I think it was the number one performer last year. This year, sorry. I think early in the year, it was a number one performer. So, yeah, don't give up hope on Ven. Chain, guys, same thing happened. It had a parabolic run, literally made no support levels. And look what happens when it drops. It's got nothing to rely on. There's no previous data for an institutional or smart investor to buy. Who's going to buy here, guys? Like, you're waiting for a bottom. So potentially on one, I'm waiting for it to pop up above this level and really create some higher highs and higher lows before I start thinking of even investing in this coin. I do like the project, but I'd rather sit on the sidelines because it could definitely get lower. Ethereum, exact same thing happened, guys. Same thing as Neo, same thing as Ven. Although Ven was a lot more parabolic, guys. You could pretty much say that Ven's in this stage here. If we just drew a little box here, we could say that Ven's in this little structure. This is a daily. Ethereum's had a lot more data than Ven. So you could say, the first push came up and about a 61.8 retracement here. And it might pop up again, but it looks pretty bearish to me at the moment. This could, I don't want to start saying it could be manipulation, but you got to think of the companies invested in this. PwC, a lot of big players want to invest in VeChain, Jim Breyer, all those sort of guys. They're not going to be buying around this level. They're waiting for this loss of public interest. They're the ones that want to get the most value for their money. They don't want to be buying at these levels. So, this video might have helped, it might not have, but I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record. Smart money's not buying up here, guys. They're waiting for a retracement. If Ven does get to that 3,000 to 20,000 satoshi mark, you just got to buy. There's no faults in the fundamentals from what I know. I've been bullish on this since day one. I made a call under $1, got to $9 in about 2.5 months. So this is a coin I'll hold forever, and I'm not going to be selling. I'll just be buying a little bit lower. So peace out, guys. That's TradrTv Volume 2. I'm going to be doing this more regularly. We're also going to be doing a cool thing with TradrTv. So we want to start interviewing upcoming traders and also established crypto and forex traders. So if you know anyone that can add some value to the channel, let me know at AlpoCrypto on Telegram, or just hit me up on Discord at Alpo. So peace out, guys. We'll speak soon. Thanks heaps.